Hey guys, I'm back. I don't know what the hell. I totally lost the feed. Now I gotta see if I can get this back on my other device. Um, hey. Um, Hold on. I'm trying to get this back on my device. Let's see. There we go. Hey guys, I'm trying to get it back on my device here so I can see. Hi, Mark. Hey, Z, good deal. I was hoping for a divine masculine to come into the feed. Hey, guys, I'm not seeing everybody. The chat's not keeping up here. Um, Hopefully this won't kick off again. I don't know what the hell. Um, anyway, so, um, let's see. Yeah, I seen where Jody on the last one had said, or that I had been with my divine masculine for 19 years. Yeah, we got together when I was 17 and he was 18. And crazy because it was like they talk about, the amazing chemistry and not wanting to be away from each other. Like we were inseparable. Basically from like we met in a whirlwind. And the very first night, we kissed and, then I didn't see him for, a couple of weeks and like we ended up running in the same circles. And so, we kind of got shoved together. Um, but once we actually started spending time together, like there was no separating us. And, it after that, and it was just like that. And part of the reason why we had to split, because one of the reasons why things got so toxic, I mean, there was many others, because just as I was the epitome of all of the negative divine feminine qualities, he was right up there with all of the negative divine masculine qualities. So, and one of the issues that we are, had to deal with or having to deal with was the codependency. And for us, it was even deeper than a lot of codependencies because we have two children and they were the light of our life, both of us. And, if our kids couldn't go somewhere, we didn't go. Um, and so and our kids, they were just as cool hanging out at home and being with mom and dad watching TV or, going to amusement parks or going to the lake, stuff like that, than, really hanging out with friends. Like they had friends, they played in sports and things like that. Um, but they was just cool hanging out at home. But it all became very codependent. And looking back, we exhibited in our relationship, mine and my divine masculines, some very toxic traits that we taught to our children that, now not only am I noticing, but we have extremely intelligent children and, they're on this ascension journey just as well, whether or not they want to admit it or agree to it. But I see it. And they've always been very tuned in. I'm sure they're star seeds or indigos, or I don't know for sure, but they're like that. Because they've always been very intuitive, very in tune. A lot of times more like parents to me and my divine masculine than we probably were to them in a lot of cases. But so the codependency had to blow up, and it it blew up in a big way. So yeah, let's see. Oh, Jody, hey baby. I was just talking about you in the beginning. I seen where you had mentioned about my divine masculine. I just said hey baby, and that was like the whole the whole premise for my rant. But I'm also not trying to sleep with you. And I genuinely love you. So that makes total difference in my opinion. Because it's not like a feminist thing, it's just like a respect thing. Because, if it's somebody you care about, that's an endearment. But that was something I had to learn to decipher was the difference between an endearment and just like a, oh, what would you call it? Almost like a possessive. Yes, I knew you would. And so yeah. Now I don't know. Let's see, where was I, or what else do you guys want to talk about? Because I just, like I said, I just got on here because that guy on Tinder said, okay, baby. And I was just like, what? And the only reason it really was a thing I wanted to put on my channel was because I wanted to talk about how much I realize now I've grown. And, you know, kind of just put this out there if other people are going through things like that. Or, you know, and if you guys want to talk about, let's see, what? Tinder? Yeah, yeah, I was telling. Okay, you guys in here, I love you guys so much. I was I was chatting with Mark the other evening. And I was telling him about Tinder. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's quite funny. It's quite funny. So anyway, I'm probably blushing now because you guys in here right now that I can see, you guys are some of the people I talk to most regularly, and yeah, it's cool having you guys in here and having you guys part of my journey. I love you guys so much. Hey, there's more people coming in. Hey guys, I'm just sitting here bullshitting. I was talking about Tinder and talking about my past relationship with my divine masculine and how crazy that got. And excuse me. But I understand why it had to get the way it did, which is cool because I didn't. Like, these last 5 years have been, I thought, you know, in retrospect, I don't feel like it was hell, but at the time going through it was the worst times of my life. Like, awful, awful. I thought about suicide. I have just felt at like the lowest a person can probably feel. I had to the point where my stress level was so bad that I started like stress cutting my hair. I have naturally curly, and it used to always be long, beautiful hair. And a couple of years ago, I started stress cutting it to where, excuse me, I have to get a drink. Hello, Roberta. Thanks for being in here. It was like a half an inch to an inch all over my head. Like, and it wasn't like, I didn't Britney Spears it. I didn't take, like shavers and shave it off. I sat there in the mirror, like in a trance, and cut it off, like a little bit at a time. It was crazy. But looking back, I realized it was necessary. Like, all of that was, it was part of the process. Like, I look back now and I realize that was a shedding process for me. I was shedding a lot of thoughts, feelings, and beliefs during that time that I didn't even realize I was doing. I didn't realize were an issue. And I do now. Like, I can look back now and be like, oh yeah, that's why that was happening. And did I lose you guys? A stupid ad popped up. I swear. Anyway, yeah, and you know, I'm just gonna go ahead and put this out there. I was telling Jody this morning that I know probably most of you guys or all of you guys watch yeah, Britney Spears. Well, you know, she shaved off all of her hair, you know. I know, Jody, that's exactly what I was getting ready to talk about. Oh my God, yes. That is so funny. He so is. Okay, guys, because I know most all of you guys watch Aluna. And a couple of, well, a little bit ago, a couple of weeks ago, she was talking about, you know, some DMs out there are like stalking, but in a more than just a normal stalking way, that somehow they have access to your phone and can see your messages and like track you on your GPS and things. I have known that about my DM since June. I've called him out on it. He tells me I'm lying. And because that's one of the things, that's one of the toxic traits he's exhibited is psychic abilities. That ain't no psychic abilities, hun. I'm sorry, it's not that. No, he's into cell phones, like learning all he can about like androids and well, anything he can about just things like that. So yeah, that's not psychic abilities. That's straight up stalking. Oh, well, yeah, you may be a bit psychic. Yeah. So yeah, Luna was talking about somebody that was, you know, tracking your emails and GPS, and I've called him out on it, and oh yeah, that's where I was. I lose my train of thought. He's always tried to make me think I was crazy. And like, because my empathic skills, I always knew he is a pathological liar. He's got very narcissistic, controlling traits. And I didn't realize this, like, growing up, because that's kind of the way I was brought up. You know, basically, you served your man type situation. And I was good with that. And I wasn't really good at it. That's why I stayed depressed most of the time, because I wasn't really good at it. I'm really more of a free spirit and a total empath. And what, Jody? You need him to come to him better than that. What? Well, no, I was good at it. Like, I was a good mom, and I was a good wife, but I wasn't good at the subservient thing. Like, I wanted to be like the bow down to, you know, like they talk about serve your man, like they tell you in church and stuff and all that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I wasn't good at it at all. Like one of his biggest complaints about me, maybe one of his only complaints about me, was I didn't clean the house very good. And it was because I stayed depressed, because I was like, why clean the house every day? It just gets destroyed. Nobody does anything about it. No, it doesn't work where we're going. You are absolutely right. Yeah, something like that, Mark. It's just, he's got some narcissistic traits. Like, I know he loves me. I know he still loves me to this day. And he'll literally still admit it. Like, he'll tell me he loves me. If I tell him I love him, he will tell me he loves me too. But he has also used that love to try to control and manipulate me. And in the past, that has always worked. It works no more. But yeah, Jody, yeah. Well, see, now, you know what's funny is I don't mind cleaning because it's not expected. You know, because it wasn't that I didn't want to clean or didn't want to have a clean house or anything like that. It was that's what's expected of you. That's what you have to do. I have never been good with rules. I've never been good with being told what to do. Literally, and I had this conversation with my DM, probably about a year ago. He didn't tell you to do it, Scorpio? Huh? Tell me to do what, Mark? No, he's a Gemini. And boy, does he plays up them to, well, he just expected it. It was, and then he would gripe about it if it wasn't done, that type of thing. I'm getting there, but it makes me angry. Stirs up stuff for being a kid. Yes, yes, because yes, I watched that with my cousin and her mom and my aunt. She had to get everything for her and do everything for her and everything like that. Yeah, I totally get that. I so watched that growing up too. I'm telling you, yes, it's some deep seated, like issues that we just had growing up that we dealt with, and I didn't know any different though, not really. That's just the way the women were. The boys, like even in us kids, like me and my cousins and stuff, like my brother was the favorite in our household, and my boy cousin was the favorite in their family. My uncle was the favorite out of my grandma's kids. It was, the males were dominant in our family. And I don't know if my feed is staying up with you guys or not. So yeah, some major, but like I said, I don't mind cleaning now. Like I can even get into it. Like I will turn on some music really loud and I will shake my ass and I will have so much fun cleaning. But it's because now, I clean up after myself for one. He wouldn't clean up after himself. He figured he worked and, taking care of kids doesn't work in his opinion, obviously, because I was just sitting at home doing nothing. So I guess I was going to do nothing. Yeah, that's what I was going to see. Crap, I should leave work and go home and clean my house. I love you so much, Jody. I love you. But yeah, Mark, that's what I was saying. Like, I actually had a conversation with him about a year ago. I had realized, and literally it was over this vape. He started vaping and he talked me into buying a vape, and he was encouraging me to start vaping, trying to help me to quit smoking because we both smoke. And it was funny because I spent like $80 on this little setup here, and he was bugging me about it all the time. And I literally told him, oh, that makes me sad. Being a mom, it's hard work. Can't be a thankless job at times. Or yeah, oh man. And I was like, I literally tried to be like Susie Homemaker. Like I was the PTA president of my kids' school. I went to all of the, like parties and all of the field trip, excuse me, all of the field trips. I was like homeroom mom. Like I did all of that. I went to all the sporting events and all the practices and all of that. And, doctor's visits and, plus I home cooked all the time. We didn't eat out. And like I would take him his food and stuff, but that was all a thankless job. Like he went to work. So, everything should be his way, his way, his way. But that's the way he was raised. That's the way we were both raised. And it just it never really set right with me. Like I tried because that's all I really knew. But it wasn't cool and it wasn't comfortable. Yes, Harper Valley. I remember that song. Hold on one second. My daughter's sending me a message. Oh wait, she sent me something about chakras with dogs. That is so funny. I love her so much. I'll have to read that later, but yes, it was very out of balance, very out of balance. But at the same time, it's not like he's all to blame. I encouraged it. I didn't know any better. Like I thought I could make him happy if I just did more. But just as I was out of balance, he was out of balance too, because I'm guessing, because we're divine mirrors of each other, that his anger wasn't really coming from what I wasn't doing. It was coming from his expectations, because he was raised that way and he didn't really feel that like in his soul. And so it made him angry. It's like I didn't really feel like being subservient, and it made me depressed. And so, looking back, I can see why it was out of balance, and that it wasn't like it was just my fault. And even all of this stuff that, yeah. Tried to walk the line, didn't fit. He built up a situation that he wanted, not you. Huh? Well, no, because no, that's not, like I was saying. We both kind of did. I'm not totally not blaming him, or putting all the blame on him. It just is, it takes two to tango. Like, it's equally my fault. I take just as much of the blame. And even in, like, I could sit here and also tell you the horror stories that has happened since then, since we split up. But, and they only seem like horror stories, to me. In retrospect, they don't. Like, they seem like horror stories when they were happening, but now I see why they had to happen, and the lessons, like, certain things had to happen, or my thick, strong-willed bullhead was not going to get the message. Plain and simple. Because again, oh shit, that's where I keep going to talk about this, and I keep getting sidetracked. The fact that somebody can tell me something, and even if I think, feel, and believe that it would be better for me to do what this person is telling me to do, if they insist or tell me, that I should, I can almost guarantee you I'm going to do the opposite. And the funny, fucked up thing about it is, I know this about me, but it's something in my soul that just says, don't tell me what to do. I know what's best for me, even though, yes, very strong-willed. The give and take tango. Yeah. Hey, Roberta. Yep, both participants in the structure. Yes, we did. And really, we were both participants in the structure, and actually unwilling participants for the most part, because of the programming. We didn't know any better. And I've seen something here not too long ago, it says, once you know better, do better. And that's totally such good advice, because we didn't know better. But now that we're learning to do better, we should be and do better. And, because I love him unconditionally. And if we don't get back together, as long as he's happy, I'm happy for him. Really, really happy for him. He is not happy right now. And I know he's not happy. So even though I love him, I'm not happy for him, if that makes sense. Because I know he's not happy. So I can't even to him, because he can't and won't be honest with me right now about the situation. And that's fine. I just can't have a conversation with him because I realize he can't be honest, and I can't sit there and let him lie to me. And so, not anymore. I've dealt with enough of his lies. Yes, and conscious participants, absolutely. Oh, yes, absolutely toxic until he's honest. Absolutely. And that's why I won't go there. And like I said, I know that I've still got things that I must need to work on too, just as well as he does. But I am advanced enough in my journey, or, in my ascension, that I know when to stop the toxicity. Actually, no, I absolutely have to say that is exactly still a mirror, because I've tried, like throughout the holidays, to extend an olive branch, but he'll ghost if I don't. And so they have that free will. Yes, and I want him to be happy. But he has the free will to be unhappy. And I also can't, because I love him so much, I can't stand to see him unhappy. So being around him, because you can see it in his eyes. He'll put on smiles and he'll laugh and goof and joke, but his eyes are sad. And I've, looked into those eyes for going on 25 years, and I can't look at him and see him sad. He chews on the branch. Oh yeah, the holiday. He did the holidays. I mean, because we had the holidays together because we have kids, and it hasn't always been where we could be amicable over these last 5 years that we've been separated, because we've been in separation off and on. Like, it hasn't been a solid 5 years, and like, we were doing that back and forth thing up until I put a total stop to that in, I think it was August. We were still like kind of seeing each other, but not deepening the relationship. Anyway, yes, he does. He wants control, and I realize that, and I always let him have control and let him control the situation, because as an empath, I always knew deep down when he was lying, and I would call him on it sometimes, and other times I would just let it slide. How long have you been in separation? Well, like I say, off and on for 5 years. We had the holidays together. We haven't been sleeping together since August. I'll just put it that way. And we haven't lived together. Let's see. Because we would split up and not live together, and then we would live together again, and then we'd split up and not live together and live together again. I think we haven't lived together for about 2, going on 3 years. I'm not sure. I really lose track of time. It's felt like this void period these last 5 years. So I really about time. Not to mention, time has really seemed different for me over these last few months, and well, the last year. It's just really been weird. So, but yeah, he's been in a karmic relationship also since, well, a little over a year now, a year and several months. That was part of my bad juju for knowing that he was in a karmic relationship and still sleeping with him. So I had to put a stop to that, because I've had to stop all of the known toxic behaviors. The toxic behaviors that I still may harbor are unbeknownst to me. Well, no, that's not true, because I still smoke cigarettes and I still have a shit diet and I don't exercise. So those are the ones that I'm really needing to work on and focus on now. I have no idea what the dogs are barking at. So anyways, oh my goodness, stop it. I don't want to yell at him. I know I yell in you guys' ear. Somebody may be here. I may have to. Oh, it's my daughter, I think. My daughter must be home. Stalkers, no. Nobody knows where I live except for my DM. They're in the other room, though. They probably couldn't hear me. No, right now we actually have, let's see, we have 7 dogs in the house right now. We have 4 little puppies and my little deaf Boston Terrier that you guys always hear snoring, and then my daughter's 2 dogs. And they were my daughter's 2 dogs were the ones in there barking because she's probably home from work. But and yeah, we're fostering 4 little pup nuggets. So, or that we still have. We had 5 and the mama dog, but the mama dog went to her perma home, and one of the pup nuggets went to its perma home. I think we got a home for one of the other pup nuggets. So one by one, they're all getting their homes. Yes, it's my little Boston Terrier, and she's deaf. She's been deaf since she was born, and I literally helped birth her. And so she thinks I'm a real mom. She don't get very far from me, and she can't hear how loud she is. Yeah, that's my baby. She just turned uh 9 in January. Yeah, that's my baby girl. But yeah, so there's been a lot of realizations on my part and a lot of growth. And I know and feel that there's a lot of growth on his part, even though sometimes, even in my own mind, even when I absolutely know that there's growth on his part, I don't give him credit for it. Like I get mad and I go into the 3D of he's not doing his work and, blah, 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 blah. And I know better. I do feel like right now he's dealing with, his ego and having like I think it was yeah, it was a Luna, one of her videos like today or yesterday was talking about um ego and what people will think. Oh my gosh, sometimes it sounds like she knows us and knows our lives because I feel like after everything that's happened, because he was the one to initially blow things up. It was like he just kind of went off the deep end. Which like I said, I know now it had to happen, but at the time, he blew up. So now, and he went to some extremes and um, probably involved way more people than needed to be involved when I pretty much went into hermit mode and only wanted to deal with people I didn't know at the time versus people I did know. So he's probably very much in the thought process of, oh my gosh, what it looked like, if I was to go back, what would people think because I blew all this up and, what was the point and why did I do all of that? Then it would look like he's the asshole in his opinion at the moment. Because he's not seeing the lessons. Not that he's not learning some lessons, but he's not seeing the lessons right now. Because yeah, he's thinking right now, as long as he stays away, I'm the asshole because he's made it out for me to have been so bad that he had to do what he did. That's how he justifies the things. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly, Mark. Water under the bridge. Like, but he has to see that for himself. Even if I was to tell him, um, a matter of fact, I have told him on several occasions a lot of these things. Like I get new realizations all the time, but there's been a lot of this that's happened over this last year that I've had conversations with him about and tried to talk to him. And my ex's ego is out of control. Yeah, a lot of their egos are out of control. But at the same time, like, sometimes ours gets out of control. Like, even just thinking that their ego is out of control in some way kind of puts ours in out of control in a different way. I mean, it just depends on how we look at it. It's when, and again, I always reference Aluna because, and I tell you what, that girl, I love her from the depths of my soul. And I swear to God, I didn't think anybody can trigger me like my DM does, but Aluna triggers me and I get so frustrated and mad sometimes. And then I realize the lessons and then I love her even deeply, even more deeply and even more. But she can trigger me big time. I can't even remember what video I was listening to last week that I just turned it off and I'm just like, oh, bullshit. This is bullshit. And I was mad. I was like, no, and because I know she's right. She's always been right. I've been listening to her for a little over a year now, I think. And even like she'll trigger me and then I'll realize lessons or something she says will come to pass. And so I am not doubting her one bit, but she triggers me sometimes 500%. Mine does. Gets me booted. What does? I'm sorry, I was rambling. Oh, yeah, your triggers. Yeah, I still don't know exactly what happened with that, Mark. I don't know exactly why you got. Yeah, I know. I don't know what happened on that. Like literally, I think I had been a moderator for like one day or maybe two when that happened. Or not very. Of course, again, my time frame is very wonky. I feel like I live in this in a portal kind of because I don't know, time just is weird for me. Yes, so much love to Aluna. I love her so much. And but I've also come to realize that triggers are so important. Like the people that trigger us are the most valuable. And Luna has taught me that. Wow, I can't speak all of a sudden. She has so taught me that because I've always loved her and I've always known how right she was. I mean, I've always felt it from the soul. So the first time that she triggered me, oh my God, you don't even know. I felt so bad because I realized that I was triggered after the fact. And then I felt so awful well, I feel awful every time I get triggered. And it's hard to explain because I'm not even, the first couple of times I probably projected some negative energy towards her. And then I felt really awful about it. But it's crazy because she talks about these things and I realize that I'm doing it and then I stop it. So she is teaching me every step of the way. And she is for all of us, really, if we only pay attention. And even when you shouldn't have an open fire in your home. Well, I thank you for your concern. That is extremely thoughtful of you. I do. I said the lady should leave the group like drunk texting. Oh my God, Mark. Yeah, that's not good juju, man. You're supposed to keep the vibe up. Even, I mean, when people in the groups trigger, because there's been a couple of times, people have been triggered by me and then, sometimes trigger me, or try to trigger me. And I just keep sending them love because I know that they need that so much more than any of the other words that I could say because they're not going to listen. Just like I don't listen when somebody tells me something I'm not ready to hear. And, just giving them love and holding that space for them is the only thing you really can do. Nothing else is really effective. And like Tinder, yeah. Yeah, Tinder's crazy. I've already said all I want to say about Tinder. I'm already very leery about Tinder. Yes. Oh, yeah, I know. I almost have a couple of times, Jody. I know. And, we feel bad, but she would tell us, I can almost guarantee she would tell us not to feel bad. Like, just don't do it no more. Learn from our mistakes and please don't send her out that energy. Because she knows it wasn't like ill intent. It's more of a purging on our parts. Like it's not coming from a really bad place, except for a bad place within us. It's really more at ourselves and it kind of gets projected onto her. But once we let that out, it's not like we continue that energy because we've learned, we've realized, we've purged it out. And because then I just like pour the love energy back to her. Yes, I know. Same here. The couple of times that I've been triggered, she has mentioned about people sending energy her way. And I'm like, oh my God. Totally called out and totally deserved, And bless her heart for not saying names because she knows. Yep, she's amazing. I love her. She has really been my ground. Matter of fact, for probably like 6 months last year, and this I kind of feel for too, because all I would talk about, like she was such a big part of my daily life. Because back then she was putting out, several videos a day and stuff. And I know. And so this time last year, it was a Luna in my head, on my phone. And that's all I was talking about. So children and to my DM and to my mom, like I didn't see my DM very often, but like when we was in each other's presence, I would tell him that he should watch her. I don't know if he ever did. I don't feel like he probably did. He might at this point, but I really don't expect him to. Um, but like my mom, that's all they would all just be like, Aluna, 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 kind of like on the Brady Bunch. Marsha, Marsha, Marsha. Everybody was so tired of hearing about Aluna because they were starting to think like she was part of my family and they weren't, I think, you know? And so I felt responsible for any bad energy. I would run to the, I know. Yes, I know. Yeah. Oh man. I mean, it was like fangirl. It was like fangirl. And, um, I feel like now I'm over the fangirl stage. Like I literally still love to hear her. Her voice is so damn soothing and calming. I love to listen to her, but if I listen to her and I'm laying down, I guarantee you I'm going to sleep. I am going to sleep every time. She and thank goodness though, she made me feel okay about that in some of her earlier videos where she would talk about it didn't matter because we would still absorb. Yes, yes, fangirl. um, yes, Aluna Ash 9D. 9 and the letter D. She is flipping amazing. Like, man, if you love my channel, you will flip and love her. But at the same time, like, I don't know where you're at on your spiritual journey because she talks about some concepts that are not, how do I put this, Jody? Help me. They're not something that you will necessarily hear every day. You don't watch her, Mark? Oh, she's amazing. Yes, extreme concepts. Like, she's very tuned in to energy and she's in tune with higher beings of existence, different realms of reality, different dimensions. This will just kind of give you an idea. But she's like I was saying earlier, I've never known her to be wrong in any way. Oh, really? Who do you watch, Mark? I mean, because let me tell you, back in the day, to be honest, like I know I've been on my spiritual journey my entire life, but like, for instance, the stuff that Aluna talks about, I've only really gotten into since I started listening to Aluna. Like, makes my 3D self feel like a speck of dust. I know, right? We are, but we're the macro and the micro, man. That's what's fucking beautiful. We're the little and the big. That's what's amazing. But it's because of Aluna that my consciousness has expanded. Well, not totally because of her. She's confirmed some of the things that I've been talking about and actually writing about, because there's a lot of similarities between Aluna and I when she talks about, you know, certain things that she's always known and certain things that she's written about. I've been writing in notebooks off and on, never really consistently though, for years. And I can go back and pinpoint certain points in mine and my DM's like ascension and awakening where I would trigger him. You, Trish, Nisa, Dawn, you and Gibberance of Z. Guidance of Z. Okay. I'll have to check. Trish, who? Nisa, Dawn. I've not heard of those. But let me tell you, I used to watch a shit ton. Literally, I heard Steve Libby talking about this the other day on something. I can't remember if it was one of his interviews that he was doing or one of his videos by himself. But he was talking about, you know, like, you know, some people, and he was kind of talking about it in a negative way, which it really is a negative thing. But, and I'll talk more about that in a second. But where, you know, people go to tarot readers on YouTube and they watch them and, you know, they want certain answers. And so if they don't get it from that tarot reader, then they'll go to a different tarot reader and a different tarot reader and a different tarot reader until they get the answer that they want. And I was so that girl, this time last year. It was a Luna and a crap ton of others. Yes, lots of things from my history make so much more sense now after. Yes, yes. Okay, I've said this many times on other videos about that Pee Wee Herman, Pee Wee's Playhouse, connect the dots, la, 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 la. But Luna has been that for me. She has helped me remember different things from my childhood and my upbringing. She has helped me connect the dots in things that I've experienced and didn't understand. Things that I thought that everybody did all the time because it was normal to me, and realized that it wasn't. Like other people didn't just do that or couldn't just do that. Or, well, they could, but they didn't. Because I feel like we all have the same abilities. We just have to tune into them. Yes, yes, absolutely, Jody. Yeah, Roberta, you'll love her. She is such a beautiful soul. She really, truly is. She's got so much to say. She can give you so much guidance. And like, if you aren't on the level with what she's talking about right now in some of her new videos, check back like a year ago to the stuff that like me and Jody's talking about now. The things that's helped us throughout to get us to where we're at right now. Because, man, a year ago, I wouldn't have thought I was going to have a damn channel or be a tarot reader for other people. Like, this is huge and different and scary. And every time, like doing the general readings that I do here on YouTube, it's not near as scary because I'm pulling for a collective of people, and I pick up on energies so easy. But to do private readings, I get nervous every single time I get one. She does readings, like she used to do readings all the time. She does so much more now. So but readings are timeless, because time is an illusion and energy is fluid. If you go back and you watch her videos from a year ago and you're in a twin flame relationship and that's what you're, wanting to watch, man, I bet those videos would resonate with you now, because this is all cyclical. The cycles that we're going through, and that's why nobody's better or more advanced than the other. We're just in different cycles. And so, what I watched a year ago, people now are going to be watching. I love you, Jody. Gosh, I tell you, I was on pins and needles, girl. Every time I send one of those out, I sit here and I put out all the cards each time I do a personal reading. And of course, yours was a little bit different, but I put out all the cards and I'll sit here and I'll meditate on those cards for a while. And I always do this at night before I go to bed, because I leave the cards out overnight and I sleep on it. And then I wake up the next day and I meditate on them again. And then I actually do the video. And every stinking time I'm on pins and needles waiting to, find out how it resonates. And every time, I'm blown away with the response. And that's just part of my process too, about really stepping into my own power and knowing my own gifts and my own power. And I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Nisa Dawn gave me a 3-card read. It was right on. Starts at 1:43 on her video. She outed me, kinda. Huh? Oh, well, that's cool. That's cool. Okay, yeah. Let's see. Am I getting all these? Okay, and yeah. So anyway, Roberta, those readings from Aluna, they really may resonate from a year ago. If you're not into what she's talking about right now, I've known her for years. Okay, okay. So anyways, now I don't know what else I was talking about because I feel like I was on three different topics here. Talking about Aluna and like past videos and then where she's at now and like the growth and changes that like I'm seeing in myself, which is really, really amazing. Oh, a little funny side note. I was just looking at my bowl here and I was thinking about all the sage I burned before I started this because that Tinder thing, I just got just it was like one of those I need to take a shower moments, you know. So instead, I saged the crap out of here. Yeah, she's really amazing. She really is. Like I just cannot send out enough love to that girl. Like, and she has been through so much. Oh my God, she's been through so much, and she's just amazing. She's just amazing. And she's also got a group on Facebook, but she is super super busy, so she don't uh, have much to do with the group. It was really just a group to get more like minded people in there to be able to conversate and help each other and things like that. Um, so there is a Facebook group, and it's called is it? I can't remember. I never remember which order it's in. Twin Flame, Star Seeds, and Light Workers. But those words could all be interchanged. Light Workers, Twin Flames, and Star Seeds. Aluna Ash 90, I think. Hell, I don't know. It just pops up on my phone now. Okay. Light Workers, Twin Flames. Okay, that's what I thought, Mark. Thank you. Yeah, the Facebook group probably will bring up some triggers. Because there's a lot of people. Yeah, I know. You if you can behave, maybe you can reapply. I don't know how that works. I know you are, love. I know you are. You're a good guy. But you shouldn't tell anybody to leave the group. Definitely not, because we're all there, with the same equal right to say what we want, but at the same time, we got to keep it in a high vibe. Yes, yes, very different places. And it blows me away. Therefore, I was getting triggered here, I don't know, probably a month or two ago in there, maybe a little bit more than that. Because I wasn't realizing, I was thinking that everybody that was in there was going to be basically on the same level. And then all of a sudden, there was like this influx of different levels. And so there was a lot of projecting going on in there all of a sudden. And so I got triggered a couple of times and really had to withdraw quite a bit. And then, pull back and realize, hey, everybody is, I know, right? When I just didn't realize, I get triggered all the time, but I mean, like, I didn't realize what the trigger really was because I thought that everybody was on the same, at the same level and, on the same page, basically, that was in the group. And, wasn't really realizing that there was people on so many different levels because yeah, I got triggered in my own group the other day. I got triggered in my own group the other day. That it was interesting. It was interesting, but I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to call anybody out because I don't think that that's nice. But yeah, I did. I got triggered in my own group, so that was interesting. uh Yes. Well, because I mean, we don't have to, obviously, we don't have to do anything, but, from my perspective, I've had to realize why I'm being triggered. Like, why does it even bother me? Because, I've often believed, or I've always said that, if it doesn't personally affect me, then I don't care because I don't want nobody worried about what I'm doing, because it's none of their business. And if I'm not hurting you or bothering you in any way, then what does what I do matter to you? You know, why are you so concerned? Um, and I just haven't understood that. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. uh, yes, it absolutely does show us our faults, Mark. Yeah. Yeah, I started a Facebook group for my channel, and yeah, I haven't been spending much time in there though. My energy has been so up and down. These waves, this empath thing has gotten so much stronger for me over these last few months, and I am really having to like totally recalibrate. Like I really feel my entire body recalibrating um to adjust to, because I know how to block other energies and things like that, or I used to know for the level of uh the empath I used to be, but it's increasing, and so I'm having to like meditate more, put on my bubble shield more, cleanse my chakras more, rest more. And yeah. Okay, sorry, it kicked me off again. He must be checking up on me again. Hi. And that what's so really weird is I hadn't noticed it so much. Like, okay, he goes through these spurts where it's happening a lot, and like, you know, scope phone, and there'll be spurts where it's happening a lot, and then it'll kind of cool down, or it may happen only once or twice a day, maybe, you know, maybe skip a day even, and then other times it's like every freaking time I turn around, it kicks me out of videos all the time, and I get so pissed. That's a trigger. I get triggered by that all the time. But as I said before, he's always been my biggest trigger point. Oh boy, my grandpups are outside and they're arguing with the neighbor pups. I can hear them. You guys can probably hear them too. So yeah, well, I guess since they're out there being all crazy, this has been going for like an hour. Unless you guys have something specific you want to talk about, I think I'm gonna probably go ahead and end this. I've got some personals I need to work on. Shout out to you guys that are being patient with me. I love you guys. If you guys see this. If not, you'll get an email from me. Yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. I love you guys so very much. This has been fun. I really want to do more lives, but sometimes I get lazy. Hey, yes, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I love you guys. Yes, you guys have a good evening. I'll talk to you guys later, okay?